victim before terminating him, while downloading the visceral feedback. Gabriel now had those terror responses primed in the neural net embedded in his scalp. They would match the dead man's EID card Gabriel held in his left palm. He'd actually apologized to the corpse afterward, taking rather more care than usual with the body. He was a sentinel assassin, not a psychopath. Slowing to an amble, he let one or two suits rub past him as he weighed his options. He laughed at a nearby joke as if he were part of that particular gang, but his insides felt hollow. Too much was riding on tonight's mission. Watching the shuffling pack tighten toward the checkpoint scanners, he decided he needed an extra edge. Distraction was also an assassin's tool. As they herded like cloned beef toward the final security check, he surveyed the audience and picked out a busty woman in her 30s, sporting an emerald halter-neck dress of gossamer thin silk. Most of the middle-aged men pretended a little too hard not to notice her. As he mingled behind the woman and her escort in the funneling queue, he casually reached into his pocket and extracted a sliver of acid-coated razor wire from its sheath. He coughed as he approached the twin security columns. His right hand, en route to cover his mouth, grazed the woman's halter material with the filament, depositing a trace of acid. He let the hair-like strand drop to the floor, crushing it underfoot. Holding up his EID pass, he stared at one of the monoliths as required and held his breath. Whoops and guffaws erupted as the busty woman's halter snapped. Gabriel turned around, feigning surprise and interest, and the guards manhandled him through the full-scan checkpoint without serious attention. Once past, he walked to the empty restroom and located the locked stall marked out of order. His fingers wrapped in the entry digicode. He stepped inside the stall and found what he expected. A small black rucksack containing gravitics, stiletto knife, and slimline S&W pulse gun with night sighter. All he required now was his target's name, but his wristcom stayed quiet. His handler didn't usually cut it this close. He zipped the bag. As he headed out, he caught his reflection in the restroom mirror. Gone was any trace of the young man he'd been before the war, before becoming a killing machine, before losing her. His eyes were black and remorseless. Like a shark's, they stared back at him. Hers had been green and forgiving. She would have been 27 today. Happy birthday, Jenny. He broke off his gaze, stole through the door, and entered the holorium. Despite the aircon maintaining the room at a fresh 15 degrees Celsius to optimize the technology's performance, Micah sweated.
"You won't make it, not this time," Rudy said, leering beneath a wavy moustache.
He anchored his feet against the chrome desk, tilting the recliner back further, hands linked behind matted black curls.
"You could have helped."
Micah's silver gloves were a blur as he worked at the hollow bench. Its data columns and networking filaments resembled a complex city of skyscrapers, sapphire flying buttresses connecting to golden spires and towers. He grimaced at the writhing red saws leaching energy from 4 of the amber columns, defects he had to remove for the program to run.
"Let me work, Rudy, I'm almost there."
Rudy persisted.
"Why'd you agree to do this in the first place? Thought you'd get a chance to work with our resident Slovakian princess in comms, hey?"
Micah dropped a filament and felt a stab of dread as it tumbled down inside the cylinder, ricocheting off several columns towards the central golden nexus. He caught it just in time with his left hand, without disturbing the overall structure. That was close. No time to wipe the beads of sweat building on his brow.
"Nice catch," Rudy muttered. "So is she, but out of your league. You know that, right?"
Micah ignored him, suspecting it wouldn't make any difference. Rudy stretched his hands forward, framing Micah between thumbs and indexes as if taking a hollow pick.
"I mean, look at you. The basics are okay, no hunchback, all your own teeth, body parts in the usual places. But the wiry fuzz on your head, the bulging eyes, is that a thyroid thing, by the way? And as for dress sense..."
Rudy's hands returned to their habitual position, clasped behind his head.
"Does your mom still buy your clothes or what? No style, that's the problem, Micah. She's class, you're not."
Micah braved a shrug, but he knew Rudy was right. Unlike Rudy, he had an abysmal record with women. He glanced at the countdown. 3:08. Any second, he'd get the call.